If you're thinking about doing a Roth conversion, you might be walking straight into one of the most expensive retirement mistakes without even realizing it. Many retirees are being told to convert now, pay taxes today, and enjoy tax-free income later. It sounds smart, it sounds safe, and it sounds like something everyone should do. But for thousands of people, that decision quietly triggers unnecessary taxes, sometimes costing tens of thousands, and in some cases even more over the course of retirement. And the worst part? Most people don't notice the damage until it's too late to undo it. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly when a Roth conversion actually hurts more than it helps, and why this popular strategy can backfire if it's used at the wrong time. Once you see this, you'll be able to avoid paying a big tax bill today for little or no real benefit tomorrow. Here's the part that makes this mistake so easy to fall into. The advice sounds incredibly logical. You've probably heard something like this: convert your traditional IRA to a Roth, pay the taxes now while rates are relatively low, and then enjoy tax-free withdrawals for the rest of your life. On paper, it feels like a clear win. Pay taxes once, eliminate future uncertainty, and protect yourself from higher tax rates down the road. Financial headlines repeat it, calculators often support it, and many retirees assume it's simply the smart thing to do. The idea of building a pool of tax-free money is appealing. It promises flexibility, fewer surprises, and more control over your retirement income. So naturally, many people rush to convert as much as they can, believing they're locking in a long-term advantage. But this strategy only works well in very specific situations, and when those conditions aren't there, what looks like a smart move can quietly turn into an expensive one. To understand why this mistake happens, we need a quick foundation. A traditional IRA is funded with pre-tax dollars, which means you get a tax break today, but withdrawals in retirement are taxed as income. A Roth IRA works the opposite way. You pay taxes up front, and qualified withdrawals later are tax-free. A Roth conversion is simply moving money from a traditional IRA into a Roth IRA. But here's the key detail many people overlook. The amount you convert is treated as taxable income in that year. That extra income doesn't just create a tax bill, it can also trigger other ripple effects that aren't obvious at first glance. And those hidden consequences are where things start to get expensive. The core mistake is converting without comparing your tax rate today with your likely tax rate in retirement. Many people convert while they're still earning a salary or sitting in a higher bracket, thinking they're locking in a good deal. But once they retire, their income often drops. That means their withdrawals would have been taxed at lower rates anyway. Instead of saving money, they end up paying more tax now than they ever would have later. In other words, they're prepaying taxes unnecessarily. Consider a simple example. Imagine David, age 61, still working and earning a solid income. He's advised to convert a portion of his traditional IRA while he's in the 22% bracket. He converts a large amount and pays a sizable tax bill. 2 years later, he retires. His income drops significantly, and most of his withdrawals fall into the 10% and 12% brackets. Looking back, David realizes he paid 22% to avoid paying 10% or 12% later. It wasn't a smart move, just an expensive one. This leads to the first hidden cost: bracket misjudgment. Many retirees assume their taxes will rise in retirement, but the opposite is often true. Without a paycheck, income typically drops. Modest withdrawals combined with Social Security often place retirees in lower brackets. When you convert at a higher rate today, you may be paying more tax than necessary simply because you didn't account for how your income changes after retirement. The second hidden cost is what many call the effective tax rate explosion. A conversion doesn't just add income, it can also increase the portion of your Social Security that becomes taxable. It may push you into higher Medicare premium tiers. It can even reduce deductions or credits you were expecting. So while you might think you're paying 12% or 22%, the true combined cost can end up significantly higher once these factors stack together. The third hidden cost appears when taxes are paid from the IRA itself. If you convert money and then use part of that same account to cover the tax bill, you're shrinking the amount that actually makes it into the Roth. Less money moves over, which means less tax-free growth over time. Paying the tax from outside savings allows the full converted amount to keep working, But when that's not possible, the long-term benefit of the conversion can shrink dramatically. Another factor is the modest savings reality. Roth conversions often deliver the biggest benefits for very high net worth households with large pre-tax balances and significant future required withdrawals. But for many retirees with moderate savings, the projected tax savings are small. In those situations, aggressive conversions don't always add value. Sometimes, simply leaving the money where it is can produce a similar or even better outcome.
Finally, there's the lifestyle impact that rarely gets discussed. Large conversion taxes usually come due during the early retirement years, the very time when many people want to travel, help family, or enjoy hobbies. Paying a large tax bill can mean cutting back on experiences during the healthiest and most active years of retirement. When the long-term tax benefit is uncertain, trading meaningful experiences today for a small potential savings decades later may not be worth it. This mistake tends to show up most often at a very specific point in life. It usually happens when someone is close to retirement, still earning income, and feeling pressure to optimize taxes before they stop working. At this stage, many people have moderate retirement savings, not extremely large portfolios, and they expect to rely heavily on Social Security and modest withdrawals. When future income is likely to be similar or even lower than current income, large conversions become risky. You may be converting at a higher tax rate today, even though your retirement withdrawals would naturally fall into lower brackets. That's when the strategy quietly shifts from helpful to expensive. Here's a quick checklist you can use. A Roth conversion may be a mistake if most of these apply to you. You expect to be in a lower tax bracket in retirement than you are today. Your retirement savings are solid but not extremely large. You would need to use money from your IRA itself to pay the conversion taxes. You're close to Medicare eligibility, and a conversion could push you into higher premium tiers. You rely heavily on Social Security, and additional income would make more of it taxable. Or funding the conversion would force you to cut back on the lifestyle you want to enjoy in retirement. If you're nodding yes to several of these, it's a strong signal that aggressive conversions may not be the best fit for your situation. The big takeaway is simple. A Roth conversion is not automatically smart. It's a tool, not a requirement. The goal isn't to follow a popular strategy or copy generic advice. The goal is to manage taxes over your entire retirement in a way that supports the life you actually want to live. Sometimes that means converting. Other times, it means doing less or even doing nothing at all. If you're wondering whether this mistake applies to you, share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to see when Roth conversions actually do make sense and how to use them without triggering hidden tax traps, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown.